I know the story because she kept copies when she would type to the family. I love tangents. When she would type to the family, her sister, her brother, for a while her mom. Um, I remember she would have like 5 or 6 papers with carbon copies, or carbon, not carbon copies, carbon papers in between the 5 papers. Now she didn't have an electric typewriter. This is a manual typewriter. So she would have to pound pretty hard when writing to get through all 5 carbons in order to make all those copies so the one letter could be sent to the whole family, and she could keep one for herself. So luckily we have those writings from her, and so that's how I know this story. So if she was wrong about them developing a new position just for him, um, then I'm off the hook. So as far as if I'm wrong, but anyway. But he's way too young to put at the head of a new department. So they actually put several people, even though they made the department for his type of thinking, they had to put people above him, and he was just a worker in the department. So basically, it's the classic: the worker does the work, and the higher up claims the credit for it, kind of thing, which is, like, I guess totally common in business is anyway. So so it was no big deal. Eventually, he did work his way all the way up to the head of that department. Years and years. And but the very first thing they had him do, I guess, after forming that department, was to go around the country and make speeches. This is how we got to this tangent. He would have to. They wanted him to address the entire faculty. That's a school. I know that much. Workforce. The entire workforce of a factory, for instance, from the top management to the janitor. The entire workforce would gather in a hall, and then his job was to stand at a lectern and gathering all the different information from through the years, what he would have told me. He didn't tell me much about his work. We never talked much about it. But I did gather that he stands in front of a big crowd. I mean, like an audience, like 100, 500 people, and he would, and I guess, he would be talking about how to improve the communication inside that specific factory. So eventually, after years, he would fly overseas to Iraq and Iran, and deal with the factories there. So what I do, when I'm pausing, I'm listening for nature to guide, and nature's letting me do all the talking, as long as I'm comfortable with it. And it's just a matter of how I want to go, whether I want to go off on further tangents, or whether I need to keep it concise. I look for guidance. I ask for help, and so nature gladly provides that for me. And his job was to go over and spend a couple weeks. It wasn't very long. Looking into and seeing how everyone communicated with everyone in the factory. How this person talks to this person, and then that person talks to that person. You got the factory floor people. You got the sorry, public. I'm sorry. that I am how I am sometimes. See where the difficulties were in those communications. And he would say something, he would make recommendations like, this person on the factory floor doesn't need to be talking to that person and then that person relating it. This person can talk directly to the next person in line and skip this one. This one needs to be focused on maybe just receiving information from this group of people and not this group of people. However it went, he would readjust how they spoke to each other in the factory until they got it streamlined and working better. And I love that about him. I suppose that would make him like Cheaper by the Dozen, that movie or book, an efficiency expert. Wouldn't that, it sounds a lot like an efficiency expert. Someone that's coming, oh, and what was the one with Spencer Tracy and Hepburn? Oh, that was a great movie. Yeah, so that being said, perhaps I come by it naturally. Admiring how my dad would be able to do that. I know he didn't read those little 3x5 cards. I read some of them when I was a kid, and they're just short notes on what he needs to hit on, the topic. And I know the different topics, and I can hit on them. This particular one, okay, then that would be okay being known. Yeah, I'm going to become famous beyond how I already was, since I am now presenting myself to a worldwide audience. If 10 people see me, I'm more famous than I was. I don't know. What I'm saying is any girl, young woman or older woman for that matter, that has the ability to set aside some private time with me has to be okay with the public knowing, even if it's in private. I think we could keep it as private as possible, but I think the more one is known, the more others dig in and to know more. And so a comfort with me in public would certainly be an advantage, but not a necessity. Just the fact that it would be known. It can't be a secret. It will be known by the general public who I may be with, spending time with privately as time goes by. Am I, instead of saying am I any good at this, am I horrible at this? I may well be. I may well be horrible at this. Or it may be something entirely new that nobody's actually tried or not exactly in this way before. My subconscious has me do and say what I do and say. My connection with nature is well documented in my mind. The subconscious, or the planners, or my helpers, as I call them, is or are connected with nature, as the many minds in nature are among the guiding forces we all encounter from day to day. That can be as strong as to take over one physically, or as subtle as to merely suggest. That's how the guiding, again, these are supposed to be notes, but it comes out almost more like a reading or a writing. and so I'm not fighting that too much and just reading my notes. And eventually, maybe I'll, if I ever have to do this again on my own, well, I no doubt will. Within the next few days, I'll post again.